All right, so let's go deep today into a world where magic, it's not just about, like pulling rabbits out of hats.
Oh, yeah?
We're going to explore the fascinating perspective of a group called the Brethren of Purity.
Yep.
Scholars from 10th century Islam who saw magic as a key to unlocking the secrets of the entire universe.
Wow. What's really captivating about the Brethren of Purity is that they weren't, like your stereotypical magicians.
Right.
They were deep thinkers, philosophers, scientists, and maybe even alchemists who believed that understanding magic meant understanding the very structure of the cosmos.
We're focusing specifically on their book, the Epistles of the Brethren of Purity, and in particular Epistle 52a, which is all about magic.
Nice.
Now, this epistle is part of a larger section on what they call the theological sciences, which already hints at the profound connections they saw between spirituality and the workings of the universe.
To really grasp their perspective, it helps to understand how they approached knowledge. They believed in learning step by step, starting with the basics and building up to more complex ideas.
Makes sense.
They even categorized all knowledge into 4 sections, and guess where magic landed? The 4th and final section.
So they weren't messing around. It's like they're saying you need to earn your magical stripes by mastering the fundamentals first.
Exactly. And that right there challenges the common idea of magic as just, tricks and illusions.
Yeah.
The Brethren actually went out of their way to criticize those who dismissed magic without really studying it.
Yeah.
They were all about critical thinking and digging deeper to find the truth.
It's so easy to just brush off something like magic as superstitious nonsense. But the Brethren are reminding us to keep an open mind and really examine things before making judgments.
Absolutely. And that open-mindedness is essential when you start exploring the Brethren's view of the cosmos.
Okay.
Because they saw magic as deeply intertwined with the movements of stars, planets, and even these celestial points called the head and tail of the dragon.
Wait, the head and tail of the dragon. Those sound more like something out of mythology than astronomy.
Right. It sounds pretty mystical, but for the Brethren, these points marked where eclipses happened and held a special significance in astrology.
Interesting.
Think of them like intersections on the celestial highway where powerful energies converge.
Okay, I can see that.
And here's where it gets really interesting. They believed that these celestial events actually influenced what happened here on Earth.
So are they saying that the positions of stars and planets could actually affect things like our personalities or even the course of history?
That's exactly what they believed.
Wow.
They saw the universe as this intricate web where everything is connected, from the grandest celestial bodies down to the tiniest details of our lives.
Okay.
And this is where the power of talismans comes in.
Okay, now we're getting into the more magical aspects of their philosophy.
Yes, and the Brethren's approach to talismans was surprisingly practical. They believed that these objects, if created correctly, could harness those celestial energies we were just talking about. Interesting.
They even give examples of talismans for specific purposes, like protecting olive trees from pests, warding off scorpions, and even influencing snakes and crocodiles.
Hold on, talismans for crocodiles? That's a new one. Were they talking about literally controlling crocodiles with magic?
It's hard to say for sure, but they definitely believed in the power of talismans to influence the natural world.
Okay.
They even mentioned that these talismans had been used for generations with different approaches and techniques, suggesting a rich history of magical practice.
Nice.
It wasn't just theory for them. It was rooted in real-world beliefs and traditions.
So how did they explain this connection between the heavens and earth, between stars and talismans? Was there some kind of cosmic force that linked everything together in their view?
That's where their concept of the prime mover and emanation comes in.
Okay.
They believe that God as the prime mover is the source of all existence, and from God flows a series of emanations.
Think of it like ripples in a pond that spread throughout the universe, influencing everything from the movements of stars to the very essence of our soul.
So it's like a cascade of divine energy that flows through everything in the universe. And magic, in a way, is about tapping into that flow.
That's a really good way to put it. And this idea of a universal flow of energy actually leads to one of the most mind-blowing concepts in their philosophy, the music of the spheres.
Now, I've heard of the music of the spheres, but it always sounded a bit esoteric to me.
Right.
What exactly did they mean by that?
The Brethren believed that the arrangement of stars and planets wasn't random.
Right.
They saw it as a divinely ordained symphony, a perfect expression of harmony and mathematical ratios.
Interesting.
Imagine the universe as a giant orchestra, with each celestial body playing its own unique note, and the overall sound creating a cosmic melody that influences everything.
So they're saying that the universe is literally humming with a hidden melody, and this melody somehow affects everything within it, including the effectiveness of magic.
Exactly. And this idea just shows how interconnected their view of knowledge was. They saw links between astronomy, music theory, spirituality, and even magic, all woven together into this grand tapestry of existence.
It's like they believed that to understand magic, you couldn't just focus on spells and rituals.
Yeah.
You had to understand the fundamental harmony of the universe itself.
Precisely. And for them, this knowledge wasn't just for intellectual curiosity. It had a direct impact on how you lived your life.
So it wasn't enough to just know about the music of the spheres. You had to learn how to dance to it.
Yes. And in the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore exactly how they believed understanding these cosmic principles could lead to a more fulfilling and enlightened life.
Can't wait.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to our deep dive into the magical world of the Brethren of Purity.
Last time we were just blown away by their idea that understanding magic means, like, understanding the entire universe right down to the music of the spheres.
Right, we explored how they saw this just incredible connection between the cosmos, the influence of celestial bodies, and the power of talismans.
It's amazing how they just blend science and spirituality, seeing the universe as this intricate dance of energy.
Precisely. And now let's kind of delve deeper into how the Brethren of Purity actually defined magic and separated it from other areas of knowledge.
Okay.
They were meticulous scholars who categorized everything, and magic actually fell into the fourth and final section of their system of learning.
So it wasn't something you just jumped into lightly.
Yeah.
You needed a solid base in other areas first, like a sort of intellectual apprenticeship.
Exactly. And this is where their critique of those who dismiss magic out of hand gets really interesting.
Okay.
They argued that people often reject magic simply because they haven't taken the time to truly study it.
Yeah.
They called for critical thinking, not blind acceptance or rejection, but a genuine search for knowledge.
It's like they're saying, don't knock it till you try it, but in a more intellectual sense. Don't dismiss something just because it seems strange or unfamiliar.
Precisely. Now, to make things even clearer, the Brethren drew distinctions between magic and other related fields like astrology and sorcery.
Okay.
They recognized that these areas shared similarities, but emphasized that they operated on different principles.
Okay, so how did they see the difference between magic and astrology, for example? Weren't they both concerned with the influence of celestial bodies?
Yes, but the Brethren saw astrology as primarily focused on predicting future events based on the positions of those celestial bodies.
Okay.
It was more about observation and forecasting.
So astrology was like using the stars to create a horoscope or maybe plan a military campaign based on auspicious timing.
Right.
But magic was something else altogether.
Exactly. Magic for them went beyond just predicting the future. It was about understanding and working with the very forces that govern the universe, the same forces that drive those celestial bodies.
So instead of just watching the stars, they were trying to understand the deeper mechanisms behind them.
That's a great way to put it, and this is where their concept of emanation becomes so crucial.
Okay.
Remember, they believed that God, as the prime mover, emanates this cascade of forces throughout the universe.
Right, like a cosmic waterfall of energy.
Precisely, magic for the Brethren was about tapping into that flow of divine energy and learning to work with it.
So it's less about controlling the stars and more about aligning yourself with the cosmic energy they represent.
You've got it now. When it came to sorcery, the Brethren drew a sharp ethical line.
Uh-oh.
While magic was a noble pursuit aimed at aligning oneself with the divine order of the universe,
Right.
they saw sorcery as a perversion of those principles.
So like the dark side of the force.
In a sense, yes, they condemned those who used their knowledge for selfish or harmful purposes.
Yeah.
True magic for them should be used for good, for personal growth, for the betterment of humanity, not for manipulating or harming others.
It's interesting how that aligns with their idea of magic as a path to spiritual enlightenment.
Exactly. They believed that true magic was about harmony balance and aligning your will with the divine will, not about gaining power over others.
It's almost like a spiritual form of alchemy, transforming our base desires into something higher.
That's a beautiful analogy, and this emphasis on ethics really sets their approach apart from some other magical traditions that might focus solely on power or control.
So we're seeing a complex and nuanced understanding of magic here.
Yes.
It's not just about spells and rituals, but about understanding our place in the universe and living in accordance with its deeper laws.
Precisely, the Brethren go even deeper, exploring how these principles manifest in the physical world through talismans.
Okay.
Remember their examples of talismans for warding off scorpions or even influencing snakes?
Yeah, it's almost like they believe that everyday objects could become conduits for this cosmic energy.
Exactly. But creating these talismans wasn't just some random process. It involved a deep knowledge of astrological correspondences, the properties of materials, and the invocation of divine names.
So it was like a blend of science and spirituality,
Yes,
combining an understanding of the natural world with a deep reverence for the divine.
absolutely. Their approach to magic really highlighted how interconnected all knowledge is.
I see that.
They didn't see a separation between the spiritual and the material, the scientific and the mystical.
It's like they believe the whole universe was a tapestry woven from divine threads.
Beautifully put. And they believed that by understanding those threads, those underlying principles,
Right.
we could gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the grand scheme of things.
It's a remarkably holistic and inspiring perspective.
Indeed, it challenges us to rethink our own assumptions about magic.
Yeah.
It's not just about illusions or supernatural powers, but about aligning ourselves with the harmonious flow of the universe, that music of the spheres we talked about earlier.
It's about finding our own unique rhythm within that cosmic orchestra.
Beautifully said. And in the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore how the Brethren of Purity believed this understanding of magic could actually lead to a more fulfilling and enlightened life.
Okay.
Stay tuned for the grand finale.
Welcome back. So it's time for the final movement in our deep dive with the Brethren of Purity and their unique perspective on magic.
We've uncovered so much already. Their connection of magic to the cosmos, their belief in talismans as conduits of celestial energy,
Right.
and their insistence on an ethical approach to magical practices.
And let's not forget that mind-blowing concept of the universe as a giant orchestra playing the music of the spheres.
Right, but the Brethren, they didn't just explore magic for intellectual curiosity. They believed it had a profound purpose. So today we're going to kind of uncover what they saw as the ultimate goal of understanding magic.
Okay, so it wasn't just about becoming like some master magician or wowing people with your knowledge of the stars.
Not at all for the Brethren of Purity. The pursuit of knowledge, including knowledge of magic, was ultimately about self-improvement and spiritual growth.
So like a cosmic self-help guide, helping you become the best version of yourself.
I like that analogy. They believed that understanding the hidden connections in the universe, how celestial forces influence events here on Earth, could lead to a more fulfilling and enlightened life.
It's like the more you understand the universe, the more you understand yourself.
Exactly. And this understanding, they argued, was crucial for overcoming what they called vices and achieving true happiness.
So it wasn't just about accumulating knowledge. It was about applying it to live a better, more meaningful life.
Precisely, they saw a direct link between knowledge and ethics,
Okay.
between understanding the workings of the cosmos and cultivating a virtuous character.
Now, how did they see magic fitting into this process of self-improvement?
Well, remember how they viewed magic as a way to align yourself with the divine order of the universe.
Right, like becoming one with the music of the spheres, finding your place in that cosmic dance.
Exactly. By doing so, they believed you could refine your soul, purify your intentions, and overcome those negative tendencies that hold you back.
So it's like using magic as a tool for spiritual growth, a way to polish your inner self.
That's a great way to put it. And this idea connects to another key concept for the Brethren, the importance of intention.
Okay.
They believed that the effectiveness of magic depended not just on your knowledge,
Right.
but also on the purity of your heart.
So it's not enough to just know the right spells or create the perfect talisman.
Right.
You also need to have the right mindset. It's about inner alignment as much as outer actions.
Exactly. They believed that if you approached magic with selfish or harmful intentions, it would ultimately backfire,
Yeah.
leading to spiritual imbalance and unhappiness.
It's like the universe has a way of rewarding those with pure hearts and redirecting those with less noble aims.
Yes, and this focus on intention adds such a strong ethical dimension to their understanding of magic. It's not about personal gain or manipulating others, but about aligning your will with the greater good, with the divine will that flows through the universe.
It's about becoming a conductor in that cosmic orchestra, guiding your life with the same principles that govern the stars and planets.
What a beautiful analogy, and this sense of interconnectedness, of finding our place within the grand scheme of things, is really at the heart of what the Brethren were trying to teach.
So it's not just about magic as a set of techniques or spells, but as a pathway to understanding our place in the universe and living a more meaningful life.
Precisely, their perspective really challenges us to rethink our own assumptions about magic and its potential.
For sure.
It's not about illusions or supernatural powers, but about self-discovery, spiritual growth, and aligning ourselves with the divine harmony that permeates all of existence.
Wow, what a journey this has been. The Brethren of Purity's Epistle on Magic offers such a unique view of the world, one where science, spirituality, and magic are all intertwined.
It's a perspective that encourages us to look beyond the surface, to seek deeper connections, and to recognize the profound unity that underlies all creation.
And that's the true magic, isn't it?
It certainly is. So, if the Brethren of Purity were right and the universe is this grand symphony, what does that tell us about our place within it? Are we just passive listeners, or can we learn to play our own part in this cosmic orchestra?
That's a question for each of us to ponder. We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the fascinating world of the Brethren of Purity.
We encourage you to continue exploring their ideas. Their main work, the Rasail Ikhwan as Safa, is a treasure trove of wisdom and insights.
Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep marveling at the wonders of the cosmos.